Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we invite you to step into the magic of education, where curiosity is sparked, possibilities come to life, and the impact of great teachers shines bright. Please take your seats as the Teachers of the Year grand entrance will begin momentarily. Welcome to an unforgettable evening where the magic of education takes center stage. Our educators bring learning to life, turning everyday moments into something extraordinary and opening doors to endless possibilities. Let's celebrate that magic as we honor the ones who bring wonder to life in St. Charles Parish Public Schools. Our first teacher of the evening is one who encourages students to think deeply and make meaningful connections to the past. Let's welcome Destrehan High School's Teacher of the Year, Courtney Berthelot. Ms. Berthelot teaches U.S. history to juniors at Destrehan High School and has 10 years of experience. If she were a part of a magical world, she would be a bard, using storytelling, creativity, and humor to inspire her students and turn each lesson into an engaging and memorable experience. Let's welcome a teacher who helps students discover their path and see what's possible. Lakewood Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Macy Dejean. Ms. Dejean teaches 5th grade English Language Arts and Social Studies at Lakewood Elementary School and has 7 years of experience. In a magical world, she would take on the role of a pathfinder, guiding others and helping them discover their own strengths along the way. Next, we recognize a teacher who creates an environment where students feel supported and confident as they learn and grow. Luling Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Shona Singleton. Ms. Singleton teaches 3rd grade at Luling Elementary School and has more than 15 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a healer enchanter, using words and wisdom to build confidence and bring a sense of wonder to learning each day. Let's turn our attention to a teacher who finds joy in helping students discover what they're capable of. J.B. Martin Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Jessica Cortez. Ms. Cortez is a special education teacher at J.B. Martin Middle School and has 13 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a fairy, using gentle magic to bring light, encouragement, and possibility wherever it is needed. Up next, we have a teacher who helps her students see beyond their circumstances and recognize their own potential. St. Rose Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Lee Gobert. Ms. Gobert teaches 1st grade at St. Rose Elementary School and has 10 years of experience, guiding students across all subject areas. In a magical world, she would be a genie, helping others become the best versions of themselves in ways they could not reach alone. Let's welcome a teacher who helps her students see their own potential and keep moving forward. Alamans Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Miranda Boudreau. Ms. Boudreau teaches 2nd grade English Language Arts, Math, and Social Studies at Alamans Elementary School and has 9 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a wave finder, holding the light so others can find success within themselves along the way. Next, we recognize a teacher who challenges students to work hard and strive for what they want to achieve. Hahnville High School's Teacher of the Year, Richard Abar. Mr. Abar teaches U.S. history and civics at Hahnville High School and has 16 years of experience. In a magical world, he would be an elf, skilled in many forms of magic and always ready to move with purpose. Let's turn our attention to a teacher who draws students in and keeps them engaged through a love of reading and learning. R.J. Vial Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Amanda Shields. Miss Shields teaches 4th grade English Language Arts and Social Studies at R.J. Vial Elementary School and has 9 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a fairy, sprinkling a little magic to spark curiosity and bring joy to learning each day. Our next teacher is one who encourages students to be creative, take risks, and truly be themselves. Norco Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Meredith Owens. At Norco Elementary School, Miss Owens teaches talented theater students and has 6 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be like Merlin the Wizard, bringing creativity, curiosity, and a sense of wonder to everything she does. Next, we recognize a teacher who encourages students to explore new ideas and take on challenges with curiosity and determination. Albert Cammon Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Kendra Barnett. Miss Barnett is the STEAM teacher at Albert Cammon Middle School and has 21 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a wizard, turning complex ideas into moments of clarity and showing students they have the power to figure things out. Let's welcome a teacher who creates a space where young learners feel safe, cared for, and ready to learn. Carver Early Learning Center's Teacher of the Year, Ashley Pierce. Miss Pierce teaches pre-kindergarten students at Carver Early Learning Center and has 8 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a healer, creating a sense of calm and care so her students feel at peace and ready to learn. Our next teacher meets students where they are and helps them move forward with purpose. Ethel Scheffner Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Isabella Bradley. Miss Bradley is a dyslexia interventionist at Ethel Scheffner Elementary School and has 10 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a witch, teaching at Hogwarts and using a little magic to help her students grow and succeed. Let's welcome a teacher who keeps students engaged and brings a sense of energy and personality into the classroom. R.K. Smith Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Christy Mascarella. Miss Mascarella teaches 6th grade math at R.K. Smith Middle School and has 22 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a magician, creating something special in an instant and bringing a little magic to everything she does. Up next, a teacher who helps students grow with patience and perseverance, showing them that what feels hard today can become possible tomorrow. Mimosa Park Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Hogan. Miss Hogan provides literacy intervention for students from kindergarten through 2nd grade at Mimosa Park Elementary School and has 24 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a guiding lantern, lighting the way and helping others move forward with patience and care. Let's recognize a teacher who leads with kindness and helps students feel seen and valued each day. New Sarpy Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Laura Gardabled. Miss Gardabled teaches English language arts, math knowledge, and social studies at New Sarpy Elementary School and has 15 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a fairy, sensing what others need to bring them encouragement and support. Our final honoree of the evening is one who approaches each lesson with intention, creating meaningful learning experiences that meet the needs of every student. Harry Hurst Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Lindsay Maxey. Miss Maxey teaches journalism and engineering essentials at Harry Hurst Middle School and has 9 years of experience. In a magical world, she would be a healer, using her strength to ease fears and help others work through challenges. With all of our guests of honor now settled and the evening beginning to unfold, it's time to bring this magical night to life. I invite St. Charles Parish Public Schools 2026 New Teacher of the Year, Juliana Falanga, to the podium to begin our program.
Good evening, everyone. Get ready for a night filled with wonder, celebration, and a little bit of magic. The room is set, the energy is building, and we are here to honor the incredible educators who make a difference each day. Tonight, we step into the magic of education, where curiosity is sparked, possibilities unfold, and the impact of great teachers shines bright. Our honorees bring that magic to life every day through their passion, creativity, and dedication to their students. To begin, it is my pleasure to introduce our Educators Rising Student of the Year, Avery Ortling, to the podium to lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here together safely tonight. Thank you for this opportunity to celebrate the incredible educators who are being honored this evening. Lord, thank you for the hearts of teachers, the patience they show, the encouragement they give, and the difference they make in the lives of their students every single day. Thank you for the way they create spaces where students feel seen, supported, and capable. We ask that you bless this evening, this time together, and every person in this room. May tonight be filled with gratitude, joy, and appreciation for the impact these teachers have made and will continue to make. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Avery. School Board President, Mr. Scott Cody of District 3, will now give the welcome.
Good evening. This is great. I can't see any of y'all, so if I mess up, it's not a big deal. Tonight, we celebrate our top educators who create moments of magic in their classrooms each day. Through their creativity, care, and commitment, they spark curiosity, inspire imagination, and help students discover their potential. Their impact extends far beyond the classroom and leaves a lasting impression on the lives they touch. Before we continue, I would like to recognize those who help support and guide the work of our school system. It's my honor to introduce my fellow board members and esteemed guests in attendance this evening. Please stand when your name is called. Vice President and District 4 member, Ms. Karen Boudreau. District 1, Mr. Ellis Alexander. District 5, Mr. John Smith. District 6, Ms. Becky Weber. District 7, Mr. Art Oquin. District 8, Mr. Al Suffren. And our superintendent, Dr. Ken Ortling. We'd also like to introduce and welcome our sponsors, Shell Norco, represented by Senior Corporate Relations Advisor, Rochelle Touchard. All right, so I'm gonna steal a page out of Dr. O's book and kind of go off script. I promise I won't take as long as he does, though. So, taking off my school board hat and putting on my parents' hat. So, we've got 2 girls that are in this system, about to be 1, got a graduating senior, and somehow she finagled her way into letting us pay for 14 college applications. And so that means 14 essays. And so the reason I bring that up is every one of those essays talked about this school district and the teachers that she was around all 12 years. And so think about that. This is the biggest thing that she's written that's gonna not just be part of her next 4 years, but it's gonna shape the next, 50 years. And she thought about her experiences here and the people that she interacted with. And so as a parent, it made me think, you get 18 years with them. And you think, and you probably are, their biggest influence. But think about the teachers. 8 hours plus a day for 200 days a year. You guys have their hearts. You guys have their minds. You know their fears. You know their dreams. That is an extremely important responsibility. It's an extremely difficult responsibility. And the teachers that we are honoring here tonight on this stage, guys, y'all make it look easy. So thank you. All right, back on. School board hat. On behalf of the school board and all the parents in this district, I would like to congratulate all 16 of our Teachers of the Year. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
The Teachers of the Year program is a national program designed to honor outstanding teachers from each state. On the local level, we meet annually to honor all of our Teachers of the Year and announce an elementary, middle, and high school teacher as the St. Charles Parish Teachers of the Year. All Teachers of the Year are scored based upon an application with writing samples, observation scores, and an interview with a selection committee. I ask each selection committee member in attendance to stand as I call your name. Audience members, please hold your applause until all are announced. This year's selection committee members include community representatives, Dr. Eliza Eugene, Miss Yasmaine McGee, Miss Lysandra Wilson, 2025 Teachers of the Year, Miss Christy Goff, Miss Diana Mascarella, and Miss Catherine Wilkin. And school system employees, Miss Mallory DiBenedetto, Miss Carrie Dupree, Miss Christy Labatt, Miss Emily McNamara, Mr. Joshua Martin, and Miss Ashley Centillas. Please join me in thanking these judges for their assistance throughout the Teacher of the Year process, along with additional judges for the new Teacher of the Year program, Community Representative Mr. Tommy Scott, and Principal of the Year, Miss Lisa Perrin. I now invite Executive Director of Human Resources, Ms. Teresa Brown, to the podium to provide some fun facts about each of our guests of honor as they come forward to receive an award from the School Board President, Mr. Scott Cody, and Superintendent Dr. Ken Ortling. But first, please direct your attention to the screen to see our outstanding Teachers of the Year in action.
be selected as Teacher of the Year at Destrehan High School means more than you can absolutely know. I was a student at Destrehan High School, and the main thing that impacted me to become a teacher was the teachers that I had at Destrehan High School. The teachers like Miss Wall, may she rest in peace. I consider her my guardian angel. She was the first person I saw when I actually interviewed at Destrehan High School. Over time, I have slowly realized that I am much more gifted at helping our at-risk population. So at first I thought I wanted to teach the AP scholars. I thought I wanted to teach the advanced classes. And I have learned that I'm really good one-on-one with our ELL population. I'm really good with our SPED population, with our 504 population. I would say what makes my class magical is all of the fun that we have. You never know what to expect in my class. One day we'll be dressed as cows and have cowboy hats. One day I'll show up in a T-Rex blow-up costume. My kids never know what to expect. I keep them on their toes. I keep them engaged. I make learning fun. After COVID, we were still doing dual modality, and then Hurricane Ida hit. And I was one of the teachers at Destrehan High School who I lost everything. And we went to Hahnville High School as a platoon schedule, and I was also pregnant with my first child at that time as well. So it was a very, very challenging time. I can't thank Richard Abar enough, who is Hahnville's Teacher of the Year this year, for welcoming me with opening arms. And I feel like we were able to have a relationship to where we pushed each other to always be better. And it helped create our district, PL, to be even stronger than what it had formerly been. Anything is possible with the support system that we have in St. Charles Parish. I really hope my students constantly are lifelong learners. I hope that they go out into society. I hope they're able to research and critically think to draw their own conclusions. I hope that whatever they choose to do in life, they excel at it and they constantly try to improve upon it and have that goal mindset, like, hey, I'm gonna get this much better each and every day, no matter what I'm doing.
So to represent Lakewood Elementary as Teacher of the Year means the world to me. Being able to represent a school that I put so much time and energy into, whether it's from extracurricular activities, clubs, leadership teams, things like that, to being able to represent them at the district level really means a lot to me. I would say that I'm a different teacher now than when I first started teaching because I'm a lot more patient, I'm a lot more comfortable, and I'm a lot more organized. When my students look back at my class, I hope that they always remember that I encourage them to do their best, to let them know that failure is okay and that we learn the most from when we mess up or from when we make a mistake, and that it's okay. I hope that they remember that my class was a welcoming environment and that we were truly one big family. I think what makes my classroom magical is the ability for all of us to be ourselves, to just be as silly as we want, as serious as we want. We tell jokes. So I think that magical aspect or that magical piece comes from us truly learning each other, understanding each other, and just being who we are. I would say the person that inspires me to be a teacher would be my grandma. She was a teacher growing up. We went to the same school, in elementary school, so seeing her in her element, so to speak, and loving what she does, and I would help her grade papers and all these things, and learning from her inspired me to get into the education field, and then now showing up every day for the students. They are what motivates me every day to keep showing up with a smile, persevere, no matter how tough it gets.
I take being Luling's Teacher of the Year as a great accomplishment, but it's not something that I'm going to use to define me. The biggest reward I have with being a teacher is seeing my students years later on coming back to me saying, Miss Singleton, I remember you, and remember when you did this? And I can't wait till my first class that I taught at Luling to do their senior walk in the hallway so I can have their picture hanging on the wall and have tears crawling down my face saying, oh, I taught you too. So teaching younger students and having them listen to me speak was one of my biggest fears. I always enjoyed teaching. I played with my baby dolls. We played school all day, so teaching was something that came natural. I was just nervous about how the kids would receive me as a teacher. I am a different teacher now from how when I first started teaching. I have more patience. When I first started teaching, I always thought that things had to go by the book, but then I realized now as a teacher that things change and things maneuver, and you have to fit them according to how the students are to meet their needs. When my students look back at my classroom, I really hope that they can see that I was a caring teacher for them, and that the friendships that they built and the lessons that they learned within the classroom is something they can use towards anything in the future. What makes my class magical are the students, especially this year. They understand that we are a family. I am their mother, and what they do within the classroom and outside the classroom is a reflection of us, so I think the magic is that we are a family. You never know the background of the student. You don't know what they deal with at home. You don't know what they have to put aside to come to school, so I try to make sure that my classroom, the learning environment they have with me is something that motivates them. Something that I hope for in the future for my students is that they can see that the path that they have is not the same as everyone else. It doesn't have to be the same as everyone else. They create the path that they're on, and as long as they stick to it, they can be successful in life as well.
Special education is unique, and it has a whole lot of different levels, and I am the significant disabilities teacher, so I teach those students who may be nonverbal, who may be blind, who may be need to be fed because they aren't able to eat regular foods. So I feel like the uniqueness of the special education world has grown me and developed me into a better special educator, but I am their advocate, I am their cheerleader, I am the one that makes sure they feel like they belong. They are teaching me that I can give them a voice, I can be their eyes and their ears, and I can show the world that they're going to do great things. My biggest fear when I first started teaching is that I'm gonna mess this up. I didn't come from a world where I knew anybody in SPED, much less people with disabilities. So I was learning along the way, and I took on the challenge, I learned, and I overcame that fear. It's the students that initially inspired me, and now my own children have 504 plans and could potentially have an IEP, and I think God lined me up with the special education department so that I can be there for my kids and support my own kids. We have to amp it up. We're playing with sand on our breaks. We are dancing. We are listening to music. We are taking walks. I am giving them a voice, which is magical in itself. I had a student that started this year who didn't have any way to communicate because she was nonverbal. Got her the talker. We're working with her, and she's now able to tell me, eat. So I feel like that is magic, seeing them find ways to communicate, seeing them find this aha moment like, oh, I can tell somebody what I want and I don't have to be frustrated with it.
To represent St. Rose as the Teacher of the Year, it's an honor. I feel privileged to know that so many people believed in me and trusted in me to represent their school, and I hope I represent our school with dignity and pride. My biggest fear was probably just, was I going to do a good enough job? Was I going to make an impact on these students? Was I able to be what they needed at the time they needed it? Did I teach them what they needed to know before they go into the next grade level? I would say I'm a different teacher now than when I first started teaching, because within those years I've become a mom, and I feel like I have become a better teacher since becoming a mom. I feel like I want to be the best teacher and be a teacher that my children will have. I hope to be somebody that has compassion, somebody that has respect for them, somebody who is compassionate and loving and really guides them to have a love of learning. When my students leave me, I hope they take away a sense of belonging. I hope I made them feel like they belonged and that they were able to be themselves. They were able to take risk and feel okay in doing so. I hope that they have a sense of pride and they take more away than just the content that I taught, but being confident in what they've done and what they've learned. I hope that my students leave me with like a sense of a love of learning. I hope that they, like I said, go beyond just the content that I've taught and remember everything that we've learned, how to be empathetic, how to be compassionate, how to have respect for one another, to take pride in your work. My classroom is magical because it is considered the rainbow class. Everybody knows me as the rainbow teacher. It feels like home to them because it can remind them of maybe their bedroom, and then they can relate to it because it's kid colored and inviting. It could be really magical for a student.
Please join me in congratulating Destrehan High School's Teacher of the Year, Courtney Berthelot. Our Teacher of the Year from Destrehan High School found her true calling in education by wanting to pay it forward. Inspired by teachers who shaped her, she creates a classroom where students feel supported, challenged to grow, making a lasting impact on future generations. Outside of the classroom, she enjoys reading sci-fi and fantasy novels, gardening, and cooking with her husband. She comes from a family rooted in education and service. Her mother, Rebecca, is a retired teacher, and her husband, Jason, is also a teacher. Together, they are raising their two children, Adeline and Caden, alongside a supportive family that includes her father, Kevin, and her brother, Joshua. Lakewood Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Macy Dejan. Our Teacher of the Year from Lakewood Elementary School knew from an early age that teaching was her calling. Whether playing school as a child or watching her grandmother's love for the profession, she was inspired to follow the same path and make a difference in the lives of her students. In her spare time, she enjoys spending time with her family, online shopping, binge watching TV, and reading. She has been married to Hayden for nearly 3 years, and together they have a 2-year-old child, Rowan, and a dog named Benji. Luling Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Shona Singleton. Our Teacher of the Year from Luling Elementary School discovered her passion for teaching through a strong love for learning, especially in mathematics. Inspired by an outstanding 8th grade math teacher, she pursued education with the goal of making a lasting impact on her students. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, baking, watching cooking challenges and house hunters, and staying active through walking or jogging. She has been married to her husband, Maverick Jr., for 9 years, and together they have 2 sons, Maverick III and Mason, and a Pomeranian named Dash. She is also the middle child of 3 sisters. J.B. Martin's Middle School Teacher of the Year, Jessica Cortez. Our Teacher of the Year from J.B. Martin Middle School found her calling in education after working as a substitute and building meaningful connections with students. Inspired by those experiences, she returned to school to earn her master's degree and pursue teaching students with significant disabilities. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, watching reality TV, listening to true crime podcasts, and staying active through exercise. She has been married to her husband, Gage, since 2014, and together they have 3 children, Rhett, Charlie, and Atlee. Originally from Mississippi, her journey to Louisiana led to a life centered around faith, family, and community, with her children actively involved in sports and extracurricular activities. St. Rose Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Lee Gobert. Our Teacher of the Year from St. Rose Elementary School was drawn to education through a lifelong interest in working with children. She strives to be the kind of a teacher she hopes her own children have. In her spare time, she enjoys spending time with her family, fishing and crabbing on Lake des Allemands, and binge-watching true crime documentaries. She has been with her husband, Dennis, for 16 years, and together they have 3 children, Corbin, Landry, and Hayes. Now, let's redirect our attention to the screen to meet more of the Teachers of the Year.
It is such an honor to be Alamance Elementary's Teacher of the Year. To have your hard work with your students and your team pay off is such an amazing honor. And I'm so thankful for everyone who recognized that in me. From when I started, I am such a different teacher because I'm more confident and I'm more intentional about the things that I do every day that impact students learning and growing, not just in the academic areas, but as little tiny humans that we eventually send off into the world. I've always enjoyed helping others, and so when I look back, I think about the teachers that have helped me and mentored me, and that was an inspiration to start teaching. Currently, my students that are in front of me are inspiration enough to me to continue to teach every day. And then I also have to say my daughter, who's 3, she'll be in pre-K 4 next year, and I just think about her and I think about who would I want her to have in front of her every day. Something that stuck out to me in my career was the year that Hurricane Ida hit and our schools were starting back again, and we needed to work together with each other, especially because we knew our students were not in that solid foundation at home. So how could we bring that solid foundation in the classroom and make them have a safe place to learn? When we plant those little seeds and water them and let them grow, I think that's where the magic comes and blossoms every day, whether we're solving a math problem or reading, whatever it may be. I hope in the future my students are successful citizens. I know our mission at Alamance is to build that strong foundation so that they can take everything that I taught them, apply it to the next year, eventually either in a career, college, wherever they may go.
My coaching brings me and changes the way I teach, and my teaching changes the way that I coach. Coach Boyne, which is actually a graduate of Hahnville, he's our head coach now, and he kind of brags on us coaches quite a bit, because he's like, I have a lot of coaches that are not just coaches, they're teachers, and they're teachers first, and then they come coach. Kind of like the way that we preach to our athletes is that we want them to be students first and then athletes second, because that's what's going to impact their life for a longer period of time. For me, it's that light bulb that goes off, that because of something that I said or because of something that I did, gets a kid to be like, oh, okay, I understand that now. That's what keeps me coming back. For me, it's always about the kids. There's kids that stick out to me. There was one kid that struggled quite a bit in school and didn't have a great home life. And it was probably the first kid that I knew for a fact that I had a very large impact on, and he started calling me Pops. Like, hey, what's up, Pops? Like, what's up, Dad? I'm like, oh, like, don't do that. Like, that's a very revered name that you should only call your father, like Pops or Dad. And he's like, oh no, he's like, I've never even met him. He's like, you're like the coolest person. You're someone I can look up to. He's like, I look up to you more than I ever looked up to him. And it was like, took my breath away. Like, I try to inspire them to become what I see in them. And by the end of my class, hopefully they start to see a little bit of what I see. It's probably something that, you know, parents try to do quite often. And I have 2 children of my own. I try to do that with them every day, but I really try to treat the kids like mine as well. It's like an extension of my family, to where I just want them to feel like they can be their best self because they have somebody that believes in them and won't give up on them.
Being selected as RJVL's Teacher of the Year has been a dream come true. It's an honor to represent our school and be selected by a group of peers and coworkers that I respect tremendously. What makes my classroom magical is the environment that I like to have. So I like my students to know that they're family and that they are loved. So I just feel like it brings that extra sense of warmth into my classroom, and it makes us all feel magical. We really support each other. When my students look back at their time in my classroom, I really hope that they take away that I not only wanted to teach them, but I also wanted to make sure that they knew that they were loved. So I know all my students come from different places and they don't all get the love that they need or want at home. So coming to school is a place for them to be able to feel that extra sense of love, as well as that extra sense of I belong. So my students inspire me to teach. I want to ensure that while they're at school, they receive a high quality education. All students are capable of receiving that, and they will. My students, of course, are the reason for everything that I do. When it comes to planning, when it comes to the classroom environment, I always want to make sure that I focus on them. So they are the reason that I teach, and they are the reason that I enjoy doing what I do. So when I started my student teaching in the fall of 2016, I taught a 3rd grade student, and I feel like I've seen his education come full circle because that same student is actually graduating this year. It seems like such an incredible thing to see him go from this tiny 3rd grader to the student who is thriving in theater and all of his productions and things that he's doing, and being such a successful student that I can't believe that I was able to teach him in only 3rd grade. So as a teacher, I wear many hats during the day, whether that be teacher, teaching the content, or nurse, giving a Band-Aid. I find that being there for my students is what's the most important thing that I do. Not just teaching, but being there for them.
My classroom is magical because it's where imagination is key. The students come in and their creativity is what drives everything in the class. Their smiles and their laughter is just absolutely magic to me. Seeing them take risks is probably the most magical thing in my classroom. My favorite part of any rehearsal or class is where someone makes a mistake in rehearsal and then we actually keep it as part of the show. So it's just whenever their eyes light up and they're like, wait, I made a mistake and it's not a failure, it's a success. That's the most magical thing. So one of the challenges that I have as a theater teacher is it's not your typical class. I'm not teaching core skills. They're not coming to my class being like, okay, there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. Teaching theater is all about helping the students find their individual strengths. And one of the biggest things that I teach as a theater teacher is collaboration. Having students come together and learn that no, there's not one correct answer for everything. It's actually the fact that you are thinking differently than the person next to you and combining those ideas and creating something. That's where the core of what I teach lies. The first show that I did, my first year teaching, none of my students had ever been on stage before. And then the night we performed, their faces and the confidence and the way their body just completely changed because they were so proud of themselves. And I will never forget that moment. There are a couple students in particular, I just remember they came off of stage and I had never seen them shining so brightly, just being so proud of themselves. Teaching this is a dream job, and I honestly never thought I would be teaching in this environment, like teaching the students as young as I am, and now I can never imagine teaching any other grade level.
I want my students to know that I genuinely care for them. I want them to know that I helped them to persevere through those challenges by the things that we did in the classroom. The person who inspired me to teach, she probably doesn't know this, but it's my mom. She, along with my aunt, were first to integrate Nicholls State University. It was inspiring to watch both because both instilled education in me. My mom has now came back to St. Charles Parish to sub, so I get to work with my mom. So she's still educating students, and I like to thank her for believing in me. We all wish the same things, or we all want the same things for them, and we all want them to be successful. We want them to be contributing members of society. So I wish all of my students nothing but success and to be good contributing members of society. I think what makes my classroom magical is I'm not like the normal classes or the core classes. In my class, we don't have to sit for the whole time. We can get up, we can move around. We have hands-on activities. We are given challenges that we have to problem solve. We are supposed to mess up. That's the best part about my class. We are supposed to mess up because we are supposed to figure it all out. It's fun, it's engaging. You may not like robotics. You may not like when we do the coding. You may not like when we do the drawing and planning aspect. But this is what you're doing so you can take this tool to learn for the next aspect of your life.
So I really always had my heart set on being in pre-K. And I'm so happy that I landed in pre-K, and I've stayed in pre-K since I started and hope to never leave. I think I'm different now than when I first started because I've really taken on a lot of opportunities to push me out of my comfort zone, implementing everything that I've learned, whether it's science of reading or whether it's classroom management strategies. I really feel like I really am a person that really tries to grow and do better. So every year I reflect upon my teaching and continuously strive to learn and do better every year. With pre-K, this is their first experience at school, so I hope I'm creating that foundation for that love of learning, whether it's just with books. I really like to be very interactive in my read-alouds, just hoping that I instill that love for books and for learning in them. I also hope that they remember how fun and entertaining my class was, because I am willing to go very far and put a lot of time into creating that fun, learning, engaging environment for them. Most of them have never been in school before, so a lot of them are having that separation anxiety, that worry, they're away from mom, so I really try to be that warm, nurturing person for them, giving them plenty of hugs. I try to create that safe learning environment where they feel comfortable to speak and interact with their peers and interact with me. I think my classroom is magical just through the nurturing and supportive environment that I create. Just having my students feel comfortable with me and comfortable speaking around their peers in front of me. I think also taking that extra step during center time. The kids love center time. They all just can't wait to go and play. So I'm not leaving like the same materials and same toys in there every week. I'm creating those like magical learning moments, like I said, with the Christmas time, making the whole workshop with the presents and the wrapping. When we do construction, I'm putting like blocks, hard hats, all kinds of things to really just help them make those meaningful connections to the learning concepts that we're teaching throughout that week.
Alamance Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Miranda Boudreau. Our Teacher of the Year from Alamance Elementary School was inspired to teach by a deep commitment to helping others. Encouraged by educators who saw her potential, she now works to support students facing challenges. In her free time, she enjoys reading, shopping, and spending time with family and friends. She is a proud mom of 3-year-old daughter, Margaret, and is supported by her husband, Joey, and a graduate of SCPPS and a member of the maintenance department. She is also grateful for her parents, whose example of hard work and dedication continues to shape her both personally and professionally. Hahnville High's School Teacher of the Year, Richard Abar. Our Teacher of the Year from Hahnville High School was inspired to teach by a desire to be the kind of educator every student deserves. His experiences in the classroom shaped his commitment to creating a positive, supportive environment where all students can succeed. In his free time, he enjoys working out, swimming during the summer, and spending time with his family. He has been married to his wife for 14 years, and together they have 2 sons, Tate and Tanner, who keep life full of energy and fun. RJVL's Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Amanda Shields. Our Teacher of the Year from RJVL Elementary School was inspired to teach by the educators who made a meaningful difference in her life. She now strives to be the same positive influence for her students and make a lasting impact on future generations. In her free time, she enjoys reading and spending time with her family. She has been married to her husband, Zach, for nearly 8 years, and together they have 3 boys, Sawyer, Graham, and Hudson. Norco Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Meredith Owens. Norco's Elementary School Teacher of the Year was inspired by educators who encouraged her to be her authentically herself. She now brings the same passion to her classroom, using creativity and collaboration to help students find their voice, making a lasting impact on future generations. In her free time, she enjoys reading, going to the movies, and attending local theater productions. She also practices yoga to stay grounded and loves spending time with her nieces. She is a newlywed, having married her husband Mark in February, and has a dog named Tella. Albert Cammon Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Kendra Barnett. Our Teacher of the Year from Albert Cammon Middle School was driven to education by a desire to make meaningful difference while continuing to grow. In her free time, she enjoys crafting and expressing her creativity through DIY projects such as resin art, candle making, wreaths, and more. She has been married to her husband, Marco, for 13 years, and together they share a blended family that includes their children, Michael, Aiken, Bailey, Shaid, Gabrielle, and Marco Jr., as well as 3 grandsons. She is also proud to continue a family legacy in education, inspired by her late father who served SCPPS for 35 years, and her mother who continues to serve as a guest teacher today. Carver Early Learning Center's Teacher of the Year, Ashley Pierce. Our Teacher of the Year from Carver Early Learning Center was inspired to teach by a desire to make a difference beyond the classroom. She strives to create meaningful experiences where students feel seen, capable, and inspired. In her free time, she enjoys reading and spending quality time with her family, whether sharing meals or simply being together. She is a proud mother of 3 boys who inspire her daily and shape her approach to both life and teaching. With the support of her family and her fiancé, who serves as a constant source of strength, she remains deeply committed to her students and school community. And now, let's meet the rest of our Teachers of the Year.
So thinking about myself representing Ethel Scheffner Elementary School, and it's honestly a very big honor, and truthfully, it feels very magical. I am the Harry Potter teacher, and I believe in that magic, so that feeling of when the whole pep squad actually came in to celebrate when I won, and they did cheer for me with my name, and I'm sitting there crying and sobbing, and it's a moment that I will always remember, and it truly felt unbelievable. What makes my classroom magical is absolutely the students, their beliefs, their ideas, their laughter, their willingness to try, even when they make mistakes. It really leads into the magic of our every single day life. So as a dyslexia reading interventionist, it's really important to meet the students with where they're at. So when they have a language processing disorder, it's important to engage the whole body, so to engage their brain. And they know the importance of when we make a mistake, let's practice how to decode that word, and to really hone in on what their needs are and celebrate their success throughout. And is really impactful for me because they have to believe they can do it in order to succeed, and that's really what I try to, besides just the reading intervention portion of it, really try to build that confidence for them. So a really impactful moment for me was when I was at the Louisiana Special Olympics, and I had my students standing on the podium, and he's shouting, "I did it, I did it." And then one of my, I was just like, wait, are they calling out his name? And I look over, and it's my entire elementary school pep squad at Scheffner. And so I think about how I created that moment because I chose to be a Special Olympics coach. And I created the Ethel Scheffner pep squad, and I made sure that our girls knew the names of all the athletes participating. So when they won, and you could hear those members shouting for those students, and everyone's just, you look around, and everyone's jumping for joy and cheering, and to hear your students say, "I am good enough." It's a moment that I'll never forget, and I think about it all the time to know that, wow, everything I do can leave a lasting impact, and I am proud to say that that's a moment that has impacted me, and I think will always impact me.
I love teaching. I love the kids. I especially love the middle school kids. I love their personalities. I love their toughness. It's important to me to go somewhere to where I'm really needed. Having a son now of my own has definitely changed my perspective on teaching. When I first started teaching, I didn't have children. I teach and I connect with the kids the way that I hope someone does with him. So I want to be that person for my students. I don't think all of my students have as much of that support and love at home. So to me, I feel like I need to be that person. There's a couple of students that specifically come to mind that used to run from me in 6th grade, and now they run to me. It's so different from when I taught them. So that just reminds me that I'm where I need to be, that I'm doing what I need to be doing. I hope that they see how much I care. I want them to not only see me as their math teacher, but as somebody who cares about them. I want them to remember me as the teacher who showed up for them. How much I put into what I do. I love to keep in touch with them, and I have several parents and students that I keep in touch with, and I just want them to be successful in their own way. Not all of them are going to go to college, but I want them to find their own success and their own happiness. I have a few former students who are teachers. One of them just graduated, went to her graduation party a couple weeks ago. So it's so rewarding to see them be successful in their own way. And this is something else, like with 6th grade, is I feel like when they come in, like they're new to the school. But I feel like the structure that we put in place as 6th grade teachers is so important, moving on. Like once I see them in 7th and 8th grade, they thought I was mean, they thought I was tough. They see later that it was all with love. I know that they need structure. I know that they need that.
To represent Mimosa as their Teacher of the Year is quite an accomplishment. I've been there for several years to show my expertise in literacy and to know my information, but to see that other teachers actually nominated me and respect me and care about me and think about how much I know about literacy was truly eye-opening, wonderful experience to see. The importance of reading intervention is being there for the students who need special help with reading, knowing their letters and their sounds. I have a small group of students who I work with, and we work on just drilling those letters, names, and those letter sounds where these students need more support in that area of reading. Where in the classroom, those children have learned those skills quicker and able to move on in the curriculum, or I need to slow down with the curriculum and intervene on their learning. My impact as an interventionist is noticing that these children need help. And I can see that once they've mastered their skill with me, they're able to transfer their knowledge into the reading, into their classroom. And my classroom is magical because we have a lot of movement. Definitely want to make the classroom multi-sensory. We incorporate games to make sure that the students know their skills, know their phonics skills to incorporate into reading. I definitely would say my mom inspired me to teach. I think back to working with her with homework and reading, and then when I went to college, she had me really think deeply about being a teacher and helping kids because that's what she did for me. Some of the moments that I can think about as a teacher that stood out, this one student was having a difficult time with the vowel sounds. And as much as we practiced, days after days, he was able to get the sound, and the look on his face was amazing. Like, I can do this, I can read.
What makes my classroom magical is honestly the joy that I feel when I walk in there and that I want my children to feel when they walk in there. I often tell my kids the light bulb. What is your light bulb? How does your light bulb look? Is it dim? Is it bright? And so those magical moments of them getting a concept or making a connection with another friend in the classroom, or doing something for the first time, or making a mistake and learning from that mistake. I really think those are magical moments, and just the positivity that I really, really strive to have every single day in my class. When my students look back at my class, and I hope that they take away that they were valued, that they were loved, that they were special, that they really made an impact on me, and they, I really strive to make sure that they're not just in my classroom as a student, but as a person. And so I really want to be able to mold them to the human that they are created to be. And so I hope that they know that they are valued. What inspires me to teach is just being able to educate those young kiddos, and for me to be able to be that person that they look up to and value. I hope the future looks like for my students that they feel valued, that they know that life is not about perfection, that life is about putting in the effort and doing the actual work to have ownership of all of their learning. I hope that they feel loved and that they grow each and every day, and that they have some sort of feeling of success every single day.
Representing Harry Hurst as Teacher of the Year is such an honor. I'm surrounded by the most amazing students and the most amazing teachers. Being able to represent our school, which is such an amazing place to be, is truly an honor. When my students look back at my class, I hope they take away that they had a teacher who really cared about them as a person. I hope they take away the skills that we really nurture in there, that they learned how to be kind people, how to be people who could work with others, and that they learned that life is going to be filled with problems that are waiting to be solved, and that they're capable of doing it. One moment that stood out to me as a teacher was actually last year when I was teaching journalism. I started the year with a student who was very hesitant to take my class. They were unsure if they were gonna stay in it, especially because it was something new. We worked on it. She started behind the camera. She started with scripts. And then at the very end of the year, another group needed a participant in a video, and they said to the class, "Will anybody be in our video?" And she raised her hand, and I wanted to fall on the floor because she was not the same student I started with in the beginning of the year. She might have even made more of an impact on me than I made on her. My students make my classroom magical. The environment that we have together is truly something that I feel is unique to our classroom. We have a space where we trust each other, we feel it's okay to make mistakes, we can be creative, the ideas can be amazing, they can be terrible, and we can look at it and we can problem solve. And it's so unique because they're not afraid to take risks when they know that it's a safe space, and that's magical.
Please join me in congratulating Ethel Scheffner Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Isabella Bradley. Our Teacher of the Year from Ethel Scheffner Elementary School was inspired to teach by a desire to help shape the next generation of world changers. She is passionate about making a lasting impact on her students and their futures. In her free time, she enjoys traveling, reading, working out, and sewing. She is happily married to her husband, Jeremy, and together they have a chocolate lab named Duke. R.K. Smith's Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Christy Mascarella. Our Teacher of the Year from R.K. Smith Middle School was initially drawn to education for its balance and stability, but quickly discovered a deeper purpose for the profession. She now finds fulfillment in building relationships with her students and making a meaningful impact on their lives. In her free time, she enjoys traveling to new places, dining out, cooking with friends, watching TV, and cheering on her son at sporting events. She is married to her husband, Tony, and together they have a son, Mason, and a boxer named Macy. Mimosa Park Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Hogan. Our Teacher of the Year from Mimosa Park Elementary School was inspired to teach by a lifelong passion for helping children grow and succeed. Through her early experiences teaching, dance, and leading others, she discovered her love for working with students and continues to find joy in those moments when learning truly clicks. In her free time, she enjoys exercising, walking, reading, and spending time with her family, especially cheering on her sons at their sporting events. She is the daughter of Cindy and Tommy and has one brother named Landon. She has been married to her husband, Joby, for 21 years, and together they have two sons, William and Wyatt. New Sarpy Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, Laura Gardebled. Our Teacher of the Year from New Sarpy Elementary School was inspired to teach by the love for children, their natural curiosity for learning. She values growth, both her students and herself, and finds joy in making meaningful impact on a new group of learners each year. In her free time, she stays active as a personal trainer and group fitness instructor and enjoys traveling, exploring new places, and spending time with friends. She has been married to her husband, Kevin, for 25 years, and together they have two sons who graduated from Destrehan High School. She shares a close bond with her parents, sister, and extended family and values the time they spend together. Harry Hurst Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Lindsay Maxey. Our Teacher of the Year from Harry Hurst Middle School was inspired to teach by a passion for supporting students both academically and emotionally. She strives to help students see themselves as readers, writers, and valued members of their school and community. In her free time, she enjoys spending time with family and friends, singing, planning, and organizing events, and listening to music. She has 2 sisters, including one who is also a teacher. She met her husband, Derek, her senior year of high school, and they have been married for 13 years. Together, they have 3 children, Ryder, Colton, and Paisley. We have now come to the most exciting moment of the evening, naming the 25-26 St. Charles Parish Public Schools Teachers of the Year. Each winning teacher will receive an engraved crystal vase and a check for $1,000. Once again, please come forward as your name is called. The 25-26 St. Charles Parish Public Schools Elementary School Teacher of the Year is Isabella Bradley. Ethel Scheffner Elementary School. The 25-26 St. Charles Parish Public Schools Middle School Teacher of the Year is Jessica Cortez of J.B. Martin Middle School. The 25-26 St. Charles Parish Public Schools High School Teacher of the Year is Courtney Berthelot, Destrehan High School.
Now let's welcome Superintendent Dr. Ken Ortling to share a few words honoring our outstanding educators.
Thank you. What a spectacular night. It really was. This is our first time hosting it in our own facility, but you can feel the magic of this center that celebrates the magic of our teachers. Oddly enough, before today's event this afternoon, I received an email, and actually was addressed to my wife, who's the principal at Lakewood Elementary School, and myself. And I want to read it because I think it holds special meaning to this night. Good evening. I hope this email finds both of you well. As I prepare to graduate from Hahnville High School in just a few short weeks, I think about all the moments and people that have led me here. I moved to St. Charles Parish in 3rd grade and attended Lakewood Elementary School. It feels so full circle that through the Ed Rising program, I've had the opportunity to return to the same school as a student intern. I have wanted to be a teacher for as long as I can remember, but it was absolutely St. Charles Parish that strengthened that passion. No matter what school I'm at, I see teachers and leaders go above and beyond. Being a part of this school system has shown me the exact type of leader that I strive to be one day. I want to send my gratitude to both of you and all the amazing educators in our parish. Thank you for welcoming me and guiding me through this amazing journey. I feel so grateful I got to grow up here. This fall, I'll be attending the University of Louisiana at Lafayette to major in elementary education. My goal is the return of St. Charles Parish. My heart is here. Teachers, just like Mr. Cody referenced earlier, you have each and every student's heart in the palm of your hands. And our leaders that support our teachers help guide them to make sure that they're provided the supports necessary for every child to feel as though they're valued and as they belong. And this school system, this parish, built with leaders and teachers such as the ones we're recognizing tonight, is what makes this place special. So on behalf of our school board, who supports every initiative in the school system, what an incredible night tonight's been. Full of joy, celebration, and the kind of wonder that reminds us why education is so meaningful. As we near the end of this special evening, we reflect on the remarkable educators who bring magic of education to life each and every day for our students. In education, teachers help make possible what can sometimes seem impossible. As you saw from the videos tonight, so many of those words spoken by all of our teachers are so true each and every day. They spark curiosity, encouragement, imagination. They build confidence and open doors to new opportunities for their students. Through their care, their creativity, and commitment, they help transform ordinary moments into ones that can shape a child's future forever. The magic of education is not found in grand gestures alone like tonight, but really in the everyday ways teachers makes students feel seen, appreciated, supported, challenged, and inspired. It's found in the lessons that ignite new passions, in the encouragement that builds belief, and in the connections that help students discover their own paths. Long after school year ends, the impact continues. And from this third grade student, who's now a graduating senior, that impact was marked by educators in our school system. And just like the magic we see in our classrooms each day, tonight's celebration came together through the efforts of many dedicated individuals working behind the scenes. I'd like to take a special moment to recognize and thank them. Our sponsors, Shell Norco, visually speaking design firm. Our Mistress of Ceremonies, new Teacher of the Year, Juliana Falanga. Satellite Center team member and Educators Rising Student of the Year, my lovely Miss Avery Ortling, for leading the pledge, invocation, and benediction. Talented music teacher Mike Townsend, he's pretty funny, for providing the voice talent for the Teachers of the Year grand entrance. Satellite Center Advanced TV Broadcasting team members and facilitator Jordan Dauphin for their productive assistance. Talented Music Jazz Ensemble as you entered today, under the direction of teacher Casey Forbes. Lafon Arts Center team members, our venue host, thank y'all, for providing such a beautiful setting and support throughout the event. Our public information team members for coordinating and bringing all the details of this event together. In closing, I'd like to once again congratulate all 16 of our outstanding teachers. Your passion, your care, and commitment continue to make the difference in the lives of our students every day. It's also my pleasure to share a special surprise this evening. Thanks to our very generous support of our community partner, Shell Norco, Each of our Teachers of the Year will receive 2 general admission tickets to Jazz Fest. Yes, thank you, Shell. And while you won't receive them in hand tonight, they will be shared digitally with you soon. Thank you, and let's continue sharing the magic of education in all that we do. To conclude our program, I'll now turn it back to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Miss Juliana.
Thank you, Dr. Ortling. As this evening begins to draw to a close, I invite you to turn your attention to the screen once more for a final tribute to the educators who bring this magic to life.
Oh, Jesus. I need to start over. I gotta go again. This is actually a hard question.
I'm gonna start over. What was the question again? So dual modality, I was teaching kids in the class at the same time that I was teaching kids on the computer from home. So I had a headset to where I was like, kids were like, why are you wearing a headset? I said, because I'm Britney Spears, duh.
I don't even know if that really made sense. Yep, cut. I think I'm good.
You said these were easy.
This way?
Nope, I can't get this one right. I don't know why. Blech, I can't. Why is it not, it's not flowing.
You gonna edit my face? Hold on, let me try again.
I am terrible at interviews.
Okay.
I'm thinking about that for a minute.
Yeah, edit, stop, pause, cut. Hold up. See, this is what I don't like, Mason.
Being able to represent Lakewood Elementary means we're gonna have to edit all this.
Oh gosh. Can we go back? Can I try it again?
Good. Let me start again. Okay.
All right, come on, Abor, lock in.
No bloopers. Be kind.
Stop saying stop saying
No, scratch that.
Is that gonna be in the bloopers?
Hold up, I'm gonna get up and walk.
Yeah, guys, 6, 7, 6, 7.
Want me to start that again?
Okay.
Nope. Run that back. Okay.
This is a terrible answer. Let me start.
What's the other word that I come?
Sorry.
Nope. Let me start over. Mason, can I start over? I'm struggling. Okay.
Uh-oh, I messed that up again.
Going 6, 7.
Do I look unhappy? I feel like I'm so factual. I'm not smiling at all.
Sorry, can you just delete that?
Not too bad.
That's it? Okay,
On behalf of the St. Charles Parish School Board, I thank you for joining us in this magical celebration. Please remain seated for the benediction, led once again by Educators Rising Student of the Year, Avery Ortling.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you again for allowing us to come together tonight to celebrate these inspiring educators. Thank you for the moments shared, the stories told, and the appreciation given. Lord, we ask that you continue to guide and strengthen these teachers as they pour into the lives of their students. Help them to keep their passion, even on the hard days, and remind them of the lasting impact they make, often in the ways that they may never fully see. We ask that you watch over everyone here as they travel home safely tonight, and that you continue to bless our schools, our community, and the future generations being shaped by these educators. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
This concludes our Teachers of the Year program and this special evening of celebration. I ask all 16 of our Teachers of the Years to promptly come forward to the stage with your awards for photos. Thank you for being part of this memorable evening, and have a wonderful night.